Hello there, today I will be talking about the documentary that we watched in our English class. The following documentary, Planet of the Humans, was uploaded on YouTube in the year 2019, made by Malcolm Moore and directed by Jeff Gibbs. It has free access for all and over 7 million views in total. The topic of this documentary is green, non-fossil fuel energy and how good it actually is. The creator claims that everything we imagined about the apparently environment-friendly way of gaining energy is actually all a lie, a lack of real knowledge, and just profitable for capitalists and companies. I would like to give my statement on this film and comment on the facts and numbers that strike me the most. To start off, I would like to talk about the first short film sequence that is shown in the documentary. It's The Unchained Goddess, an old film that was made a long time ago in 1958. What struck me is that already in that year people talked about air pollution and human-caused climate change. The person in the film claims that in the period factories and automobiles released more than 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year. After all the consequences are mentioned, there's suddenly only darkness on the screen and dramatic music with Moore's voice. His statements throughout the film opened my eyes on all the real facts about green energy. This particular part is the truth of how long we actually know about climate change and its cause. But fact is that only in the 21st century we truly started working on this problem, and who knows how much time we need to find a real solution, and if we in fact have the time at all. Further on, Michael Moore tells us about how solar panels in reality are quite unstable at their work. The example, they mentioned at the beginning and the end Earth Day. They claim to run the event fully on green energy, but in fact after it starts to rain have to use fossil fuels to continue the concert. In fact, the other Earth Day presented in the documentary lie all the way through. They use only diesel for the electricity used at the event. The documentary told me the truth which I, as an environmental supporter, was afraid to hear. Solar panels aren't a good source of energy. They work bad or not at all in bad conditions, for example when it's not sunny enough or it suddenly rains. The horrific truth is that those very expensive green ways to get energy are in reality not long lasting. Solar panels stop working after a couple of decades, and other sources of this energy are also not infinite. All this information was in fact bothering me, and I could never imagine that thousands and millions worth solar panels can only continue working for 10 to 20 years. The next thing that shook me was how much effort is made to get the needed materials for creating those sources of green energy, how much deforestation is caused by creating space for those constructions. The documentary shows us places all over the world that suffer from deforestation for creating these spaces for those factories, and deforestation for the use of those trees for biomass. The upsetting part isn't the fact that people chop down trees to burn them for carbon-free energy, but the fact that the wood itself doesn't burn that well and we pollute the air by burning other materials with it to gain more energy. So in fact this isn't a way of getting nature-friendly energy, but a way of gaining money, how paying not to the fossil fuel companies, but for deforestation and pollution itself. Never have I thought that humanity will, by trying to save the world, try to get wealthier as well. Next point is the creation of solar cells itself. The footage backed up with dramatic, horrifying music made me scared and realize the whole process of collecting the required substances. It indeed includes the usage of fossil fuels itself, which surely is not possible of being compared with the child labor and cost emission of 23,000 times worse than CO2 sulfur hexafluoride, what is also involved in the whole process. The footage gets faster and faster. You can see all the steps of destruction of our planet to apparently win a better way of getting energy than just burning gas and other fossil fuels. Last but not least, it is important to mention that people who support those who invest in creating those sources, not only financially but mentally, have mostly no idea on the background of it. Billionaires don't just spend money on projects of gaining green energy from those sources for example, electromobiles. They invest in projects knowing that they will also gain money and also the respect of people, probably avoiding taxes during the whole process. Most people ignore the fact that by creating a way to win green energy we still use fossil fuels. But why should they care? They still get respect for their effort, even though it is clear that it does nothing but finance other big companies in just another way than the fossil fuel industry. The documentary mentions very big numbers of money donated and invested in projects because of which people think it must definitely help. In conclusion, I want to say that I highly recommend this documentation because it gives the lack of knowledge to those who actually care about our environment. It teaches us that there is no easy and magical way of getting clean energy. It recognizes the problems in people's consumption and that to stop the destruction of our planet we need to first of all think about what we ourselves are doing wrong. The last sequence with the small orangutan really presents our future if we don't change our action right now. Thank you for listening.